I just don't get why he's going back on the road and he said he didn't feel well. He said he had a stomach ache or he had to get his stomach together.
Okay.
He wants to get his health together. He wants to just go the f away.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Rap Life Review. I am Nadeska here with Lowkey and Eddie holding it down for Ebro. He's out this week, but don't panic. He'll be back soon. I promise. We got a lot of music to get to this hour, my friends. How y'all feeling?
Good. Eddie, how you?
Man, I'm shining, man. Look at me. Look at my skin, bro. It's looking clear.
Yeah,
like
back up.
I feel great.
All right, so we're going to start with the new Rick Ross and Meek Mill album, Too Good to Be True. This one is #2 on Apple Music's top album chart. Now, obviously, the SHAQ KOBE single was huge. Now that we've had a chance to sit with the full project, how y'all feeling? Look, Eddie is our resident gym rat, and I feel like there's a few records on this that are great for the gym playlist. You want to kick us off, Eddie?
Let me just tell you something. The biggest flex in recent rap history is not only Rick Ross and Meek Mill deciding to do a collaborative album, which I appreciate. They actually put a remix of, what's it, SHAQ and Kobe or Kobe and SHAQ? I'm old, y'all. I forget the order of stuff. SHAQ and Kobe. They put SHAQ on the remix. SHAQ is back. They got SHAQ to get back in the booth. And for the kids that don't remember SHAQ rapping, SHAQ low-key had bars. Every SHAQ album with platinum. SHAQ got a song with Biggie where he damn near went bar for bar with Notorious B.I.G., one of the greatest rappers ever. But then they said, hey, you know what? That's not only a huge flex. We've been arguing in the streets for a little bit. Who's the greatest athlete rapper ever? And people tend to say SHAQ. But you know who else is an athlete rapper that be putting out a whole bunch of music? Dame Lillard, my #2 favorite NBA player right now.
Yeah, but Lowkey's not a fan. He trashed him the last time we talked about this.
I didn't trash him. I just gave my honest opinion.
He was unenthused by him, Eddie. Is that a better word?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
But did you like hearing SHAQ on the record then?
But SHAQ and Dame Lillard, they got both of them on. He got both of them on the remix. Like, fam, you got arguably the two greatest athlete rappers on the same track on the. Bro, that's a flex.
It's a high flex because the reason why it's a flex is they debuted the record on TNT with SHAQ. So just like that promotional tidbit right there is a flex within itself. It's cool to have SHAQ on that record based because it's SHAQ and Kobe. He mentioned Kobe on the record. Dame Lillard did pretty well on the record. I will give that, I'll give that the props that it deserves. Am I a fan of Dame Lillard? No. As a rapper.
All right,
no.
You know what? We don't need to rehash this then. Where do you guys feel like this album ranks in the Ross, let's just say in the MMG catalog? Is this going to be a classic for y'all?
No, let's not lie. Let's not lie.
One is too early to tell.
Let's not lie.
Two,
so it doesn't have those legs. It's not going to grow into a classic.
I don't think it has those legs. I think for the moment that it comes out right now, I think it serves its purpose for the street aspect. I do feel like there was a piece of that missing a little bit just from the output of music and everything. We missed the Ross and Meek collaborations. I love the fact that Wale was on one of the songs.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
that brings the big three back together. Lyrically, I do think some of these joints are repetitive, especially in Meek's corner. It's not no slight, but I do think some of the narrative gets repetitive. I think Ross's lyrical exercising was very, very dope to see. I think the production was handled very well. The collaboration with Tiana Taylor, above the law. Fire.
Oh yeah, the sample on that one. That's a Snoop sample, right?
That Snoop said that shit was stupid.
You be analyzing the fuck out of these things, bro.
It's my goddamn job.
You talk about I think the production and the lyrical exercising and the whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Hey man, I just like that they took a Tears for Fears sample. That was dope. SHAQ is on it. That was hard.
When you're enthusiastic about something, you spend time with it, you critique it, you pick it apart. You don't always give it praise. You don't always shit on it. And Ross and Meek are two of my favorite artists. So I really wanted to sit with this project and really analyze what could have been done better or who could have been on it or this, that, and the third. But there are things that were done very, very well. Like I said, the collaboration with Wale, having Cool and Dre on Go to Hell, that sample, like the
Tears for Fears.
Yeah, Tears for Fears. That sample.
Oh, crazy.
There are things that are very well done on this album, but just the only blemish I think Meek's lyrical growth hasn't gotten to the point where I thought it would be.
Hey, bro, the Go to Hell, my boy Meek was extra screamy. Like, Meek be screaming, but he was extra. And let's be clear, Nadeska asked, is it like an MMG classic? The only reason why I said no so quick, because them MMG joints were, I'm not, just Ross's library alone is sick. Yeah. What Meek's done. And then people forget, though, and I talked to him, I stood in on the interview when Zane interviewed Meek and Ross. Those three self-made projects were dope as hell, fam. Like they were insane. So
when you look at those three and then have this one, it's like but there's a lot more into those three than it is this. I think this is a very, very solid project. Yeah, I think it's a very good foreshadow of what's to come from both of them.
Right.
And I
maybe
hope,
classic, I'm sorry, it was the wrong choice of word. I just need to figure out the word. I understand it just dropped. I'm not trying to say that, but just if you could see it turn into that. But the timing is nice. We just haven't heard music from them in such a long time. It's a nice moment. And for me, it did what a Ross album does for me. It just made me feel like I need to get my money up. So I too can't afford a Buffalo. I don't have a Buffalo yet, which is crazy, right? So
but this Ross and Meek joint is very solid.
Would you guys want to see them lean into this a bit though and take it out on the road on like a joint tour type of situation? Would you go out for that?
Hell yeah. Just between the two of them, their bodies of work can hold a nice 30, 35 city tour.
Check out this new album from Ross and Meek Mill, Too Good to Be True. That's streaming now on Apple Music. You should also check out Ebro's Sit Down with them. Really, really dope. Another album I want to get to is Lola Brooke. Her first project is called Dentist Daughter. That is now streaming on Apple Music. Lo, you had a chance to check that out?
One of my favorite records on there is Best Side. She samples DMX's Stop Being Greedy. And that just the sample, the beat, it fits her perfectly. Even though she's like 5'1.5", like you think she was 6'3". Rapping on this shit. And there's another one she has with French Montana that's fucking fire too. So I was pleasantly surprised. You know, my boy Ish told me about it because it slipped my mind that, you know, the project was coming out. So I sat with it on Saturday and you know, it's a pretty solid project. Yeah,
it's dope. So she had that big record, Don't Play With It. She had Lotto and Young Miami on it. So that took off. And it's like nice. We get to hear a little bit more about her coming up, growing up in Brooklyn, being in a shelter with her mom, working her way up.
Talking about her father.
Exactly, her dad, trying to afford studio time to get there. So she's someone who really cares about it. So a dope project. I had a chance to sit with her for this. You could check out a clip of the interview right now.
You know, I've been listening to your music, but yeah, I feel like on this project, I start to understand so much more about who you are. And you didn't necessarily have to do this for your project, right?
No.
It could have been all turn up records. It could have been all fun. I listen to those all day too because your energy on songs is crazy. Why'd you feel like it was important to put these pieces of yourself in this project?
People would want to know, like, oh, we know she's this Brooklyn girl, okay, but what is the reason for me to tell people don't play with it though? There is a reason why I'm telling people don't play with me, and there is a reason why I'm so aggressive, and there's a reason why my energy is the way it is. So I have to take y'all back before I ask to not be played with. I got to show y'all my frustration. And this is where the frustration came from.
All right, so a couple more quick shout outs right here. Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz, the new single Long Story Short is really dope. And Wayne also kicked off a new season of Young Money Radio here on Apple Music. 2 Chainz was actually the first guest, so if you want a little bit more insight on the music, be sure to check that out. Lo, anything else on your radar you wanted to throw out?
Larry June and Cardo, they put out a project this week. You know, if you know their how they work together, this is right up their alley. It's very smooth. You know, if you know Larry June music, you know exactly what you're gonna get on.
Lifestyle music, dog. Lifestyle,
you got
man.
Alchemist on there, you got Blacks on there, you got 2 Chainz on there. It's just, if you smoke hookah, if you smoke weed, if you drink, if you drink cognac,
healthy.
Is there smoke hookah music?
Juices.
Yeah, that's why I listen to it. I listen to it while I smoke a hookah. I'm like, yo, this is
I don't really understand that sub-genre.
No, I'm just saying.
He's a healthy lifestyle guy. He wants you to go outside and jump rope and ride in a nice car. Well, how you turn it to hookah and weed?
I'm just saying,
he
like,
listens
in
to
the
him
casual.
after the gym, before hookah,
like,
somewhere in the middle.
After work, just a casual happy hour, just sitting there vibing to Larry June with the Cardo production. Like, you can't go wrong.
You projected Larry June's music into your lifestyle.
Okay. Is that a bad thing?
All right, where would y'all listen to this Jack Harlow single, Lovin' On Me? Is that hookah music?
I would listen to it 10 years ago when Drake made the motto. And I would love it. But you know what? Fast forward a little bit, I still like it.
Who did it better, Drake or Jack Harlow?
Okay. I'm going to tell you a little Eddie's secret, right?
All right,
so you know how Drake he's a chameleon. Drake has like 55 different versions. Like you get UK Drake, you get like
Caribbean
reggae Drake. Hey, you can check my Carfax. My favorite Drake has always been Bay Area Drake. And he just stopped giving us Bay Area for free on the DJ Khaled was nuts. Motto was nuts. I loved when Drake got into that little Bay Area bag and then he just stopped doing it. He let me down. Aubrey, my feelings are hurt. Now his little protege, because let's be clear, Jack Harlow
makes...
Did
you say protege?
That's what I think. That's what he said.
Jack Harlow makes Drake adjacent music. Let's not lie. And you know that little meme where dude got the little board in the background, right? And he's connecting all the dots. Now, let's not act like Jack Harlow hasn't seen the Drake blueprint, right? And more than any other young artist, he's like, you know what I want to do? I want to make Drake music. His last album was his version of a Drake album. And look, and I know y'all on the internet, and Lowe's laughing.
I'm so glad you saying this shit, and I'm not. Go ahead, keep going.
Listen, bro, this is not a slight on anybody because art inspires art.
Yeah.
If I made music, I would probably sound like a fake Michael Jackson. I would probably sound like a fake Tupac because those are the people that inspired me through like certain years of my life that, you know, have been very instrumental in my music taste right now.
No, I mean,
this is not
that's a good
knock.
way to put it.
This is not a knock. This is what people do. And more than anybody, Jack Harlow feels to me like he's trying to follow that Drake blueprint. And guess what? I like this song too, just like I like the motto. Like, I like them both, right? Just because I'm saying something doesn't mean I don't like the music.
I mean, like, if he's trying to get away from this entire point you just proved, that this is not the way to do it. Like, this song, it's not the way to do it. But it's a good song. But we're not gonna act like this is not the motto part 2.
This is just what happens, bro. We are inspired by the Lil Wayne got like 1,000 rap babies. So why wouldn't someone look at Drake's success and go like, that's what I want from I'm gonna follow that blue. Like Kobe did it with Michael. Now there's a million people that want to be Kobe. Like, this is just the nature of people that inspired. This is what happens to everybody.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Shout out to Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
Yo, he picked the right lane. I mean, we got to talk about this Drake and Cole tour. It's all a blur. Big as the what? It's a very interesting title. 22 Dates is going to kick off in January, which is so crazy because he literally just wrapped a tour. This man does not get tired.
Now I get it.
What?
Big as a what is a lyric. It's like a lyrical punchline on
It's the Cole song.
First person shooter.
Right.
That's okay. All right, now it makes sense.
It's just still a bit of a long title, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just good.
It's cool. You solved the mystery. Good job.
Got Batman over here.
We with the shits today, huh?
No, I'm just saying, like, you did a really. I didn't figure it out.
I solved the puzzle. I'm Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what the fuck we doing today? All right, cool. Let's
You
go.
Batman.
We just wanted to hear how excited you are about this tour. We know Drake said he's going to take some time off to tend to his health. Obviously, that's not going to be next year. Maybe the next year. Sup? Are we seeing this one? I mean, we do have questions.
No, don't do that.
What are you
Don't
checking?
do that, Lo.
You said, are we seeing this one? You said, are we going to?
Don't do that, Lo.
The problem is,
Are you going to Buffalo?
Why didn't no New York dates?
There's 2 Nashville dates.
There's a Memphis date.
There must be a reason for this, right? This has to be just the first wave of dates.
I think this is what I'm gathering from the internet research. These are the dates he's missed.
Oh, you've been doing internet research.
Anyway, I've been doing my internet research, and I've seen that these are the dates that he's missed. Where I think it's unfair is putting Cole on that tour because it's like there's such a big, massive, collective. You know what I mean? Like, I think, the Barclays should have got that. MSG should have got that. Miami should have got that. SoFi Stadium or whatever should have got that. I just don't get why he's going back on the road and he said he didn't feel well. He said he had a stomach ache or he had to get his stomach together.
Okay.
He wants to get his health together. He wants to just go the fuck away.
Oh.
Like, no, not in a bad way. Like, go sit down. Let us miss you. Like, let us miss you. I get it. You're making up the tour dates. I get it. People have had, rearranged their lives, put their money into these tickets, this and the third, and things are canceled. I understand that. I admire that. But now you're branding it as another tour with Cole. I think it's unfair to the other fans that loved y'all and love what y'all do together. I don't know if this is like a surprise or a present to the shows that he's missed. Like, let me add Cole to the show to make up for my wrongdoings. I don't understand. But if you're telling us you got a stomach ache and you're going back on another 3-month tour, it's just like, like, what are we? Like, go sit down, bro. I don't want to see nothing bad happen to him. I don't want him to get sick where he can't do this.
Okay, relax on that part. Relax. Here's what I'll say.
What? I'm bugging?
No, that part, the take time off, I'm gonna put that over here. That's a whole different thing. Because yes, you're right. He did tell us he's gonna take time off, and now you kind of worry about the validity of that statement. But whatever, he can do what he wants. He's a grown ass man. I'll flip it a little bit, and I'll come from a different perspective. So, Lo, you're from New Jersey. You live in New York. You went to college in DC. All really, really big cities. You got I live in LA. There's always something to do. Like, there's always a million shows. We always have an opportunity to go to stuff. Like, we are blessed living where we live. We live in the number 1 and number 2 biggest cities in the biggest media country. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're blessed. I'm not from these cities, bro. I'm from Seattle. It's media market number 14 or whatever. So there's way less opportunities for things like this to happen. Like, And if you're in media market 14, 15, some of these cities 20, 30, you might have 2, 3 dope ass things you want to go to a year. So if we look at the tour dates, Oklahoma City, boo, give me back my Sonics. Oklahoma City, San Antonio's, Sunrise, Florida, where Penn State is, State College, PA. Those cities have an opportunity not only to see Drake, but also to see J. Cole. It's pretty cool. Like, it's pretty cool that the LAs and New Yorks and Atlantas and Chicago's.
I'm not mad at the fact that he's going to these smaller cities and bringing Cole with him, because they like you said, they don't get a chance to see them.
Yeah.
And barely ever would get a chance to see anyone of their stature.
Yeah.
The thing that you packaged over there right when you first started, that's all I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at this. I got cool. Like, these two brothers make good music together. They got a #1 song together. Shit, we might get a joint album from this.
It could be done. It could. This could be the soft launch. Like, hey, guess what? Boom. Now here's the album.
All I'm saying is this, bro. Like, yo, your health is the first priority, because if that shit ain't intact, none of this is gonna get done.
Low, come on, fam.
All right, cool. Then don't tell us.
Good.
Don't tell us you got health issues. Don't tell us none of that shit. We don't care. If you gonna laugh at it, and I'm trying to actually be concerned, like, yo, my nigga, like,
you ain't concerned.
Maybe you want to sit down and just take a chill pill for a second. Cool.
Drake.
Don't tell us that.
He's making a good point, but I'm a selfish fan. I just want them to add some dates to the Barclays, please.
Okay, so are we gonna say the quiet part out loud? Let's fuck it. Let's do it. We're here now. Some would speculate the whole reason why he said that, it was the same time that he was getting negative album reviews at the time when the album dropped. That's when the negative album reviews were hitting. And Drake, very unlike Drake, it was the first time he was actually saying stuff back to people online. Mm-hmm. And right when the bad reviews came out, that's when Drake said he's sick. Now, look, I don't know. Drake might have really been sick, but if we're going to do it, that's the speculation that, like, that's odd timing. You've never done that before, because people, let's be clear, whether the Drake albums end up being great or not, there is always a negative initial output from people saying, oh, this isn't a classic, right. Drake doesn't make great albums. But 9 times out of 10, he ignores it. This was the first time that he actually was like going back pushback at the fan base. And then shortly after, I think it was a week, maybe if even a week, he was like, yo, I'm gonna take some time out. I'm sick. I'm not feeling that great. Mental health, all that. And now months later, not even that long, boom, we got a whole nother tour. So some would speculate it looks fishy. I'm not necessarily saying that, but it's a conversation that's out there.
Well put.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to this tour alone. I'm gonna stay tuned. Maybe
what city you going to? You going to Buffalo?
That's
where you
so
going?
Stupid. She's like
let's go with the Barclays dates. All right, well, we'll see. I feel like there's gonna be some more dates coming, but we'll hang tight for that. Last thing, we got to talk about the Grammy nominations. 2024 nominations are in. We got to start with some big love for Queen SZA. 9 nominations, so she's leading, including the much coveted Album of the Year category. So I want to run through some of these categories with you guys, see what your picks would be. These are the ones that are only relevant to us. Of course, there's a lot of pop nominations as well. Let's start with Record of the Year. On My Mama from Victoria Monet and SZA, Kill Bill.
On My Mama is my vote.
Look, I'm just happy. I forgot the exact number. What Victoria? I think she got 6 or 7 Grammy. I am so happy for her, especially after the VMAs told her, like, hey, you're not there yet in your career. You can't perform here yet.
She just put out a really, really dope album, and she deserves the fact that we're choosing between Victoria Monet and Kill Bill for Record of the Year is incredible.
Beautiful.
Love.
Beautiful.
Love. And both SZA too, great records, both of them, love it.
Yeah, and Album of the Year, so as we mentioned, SZA's of course nominated, and Janelle Monáe as well, her project, The Age of Pleasure. It's nice to see Black women represented there.
Fire.
Another huge one, Best New Artist, Ice Spice, Coco Jones, Victoria Monet.
Ice got 4 nominations. That's beautiful.
And shout out to Coco Jones too, another person that's been grinding since she was a Disney kid. And while currently on a TV show, shout out to Bel Air. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, she's definitely a superstar in the making. Yes. One to keep an eye on. Producer of the Year for non-classical, Hit Boy and Metro both nominated. Who would you guys pick?
Ooh, I'm a Hit Boy
fan. I mean, Metro put out the Heroes and Villains album, which was fucking ridiculous. He's been working a lot, but Hit Boy, you know, just what he's done over the past year alone. Like, he had a Music Soul Child album, you know, the KD3, the Magic series. His range is fucking ridiculous. Whoever wins, I'm not mad at.
Yeah.
Like, so if Metro gets it, boom, that's cool.
Metro scoring Spider-Man movies, dog. Like
that I forgot. Yeah, that.
Like,
but yeah, Hit Boy has just been on a tear. So I'm personally voting for Hit Boy. That's my man's. But if Metro wins, he deserves it too.
All right, so a couple of the other big ones. Best rap performance is Keem and Kendrick, Drake and 21, Killer Mike. But I want to actually skip ahead to the last one, best rap album. So I see Eddie's excited. Drake and 21, Her Loss. Killer Mike's album, Metro, Heroes and Villains, Nas, King's Disease 3, or Travis Scott, Utopia.
Guess what, y'all? So every time Grammy, they do the nominations. I can't speak to every other genre, but hip hop heads, we all get like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. And, oh, da 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 da. I don't think they're wrong, fam. Like,
no,
yeah,
they got it right.
There's probably some other albums that could have been in there, and I acknowledge that. But just the overall scope and the albums that they picked, I'm not mad at
They got
one.
it right. Like, they definitely got it right. You got the trappy trap shit, and you got that hard-hitting lyrical storytelling shit, and you got the just mosh pit. You got every option of hip-hop that you really want to see on that stage. Like Killer Mike, Nas, Travis, Drake and 21. Like, this ain't a bad list.
Metro, what he did. So
I'm going with KD3.
Me personally, and I've been screaming this since the day the album came out, and I was concerned. I didn't think it was gonna get nominated. Killer Mike, Michael.
Yeah.
I've been screaming about that since it dropped, and I'm glad that he's getting his nomination. I think it's very well deserved.
I wouldn't be mad at any album that won.
No,
I wouldn't be mad at any album.
It would probably be Killer Mike for me. On first glance, I was a little conflicted here. All right, look, we're almost out of time, but I feel like we need to give a quick salute to Jay. The Black Album turned 20. Lo just did an essentials here for it on Apple Music.
Yeah, just walked everybody through the project. I had the pleasure of interviewing Ninth Wonder about 2 weeks ago in North Carolina for this Nike campaign. And I made it my business to ask him about the process behind making Threat. And he told me that I think when he first linked with Jay, he played him like 29 beats. And Jay had asked him to come back, I think the following Monday or something like that, to make something in front of him. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that song that he made in front of him was Threat. Ninth, if I'm fucking this up, just let me know. But I think that was the process behind it. And after that, Beyonce had called Jay and told him, like, yo, I want him to come in to work on the last Destiny's Child album, Destiny's Fulfilled. And that's how you got Issue to Reason and Girl. So Ninth's trajectory after that Threat record just put him through the moon, as if he wasn't already dope as fuck.
All right, Lo, I got a question for you. And I make jokes about you a lot, and I've been making them throughout the show, but I will really say that you are somebody I look to when it comes to historical context for hip-hop. A lot of stuff that I been forgot, you remember, and you can put out there. So retrospectively, 20 years later, what's your biggest takeaway from that album?
You know, the Black Album for me, essentially when it came out and as it aged, it wasn't really ranked as high as American Gangster or Volume 1 or Blueprint. But I've been watching Fade to Black a lot lately, and it just kind of gives you a different perspective how the album was made, you know, who it was made with, the context around the album, the people around the album. And when I really did the Essentials, you know, Black Album episode, which you can listen on Apple Music, I got to walk myself back through the whole thing. And then kind of just like, it gave me a deeper appreciation for what that album meant, not only to him and his catalog, but to just the stratosphere of hip hop and how we talk about him. You feel what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
you know, the Black Album kind of moved up in my ranking just a little bit. I got a little bit more respect for it because if you know me, like, you know, I'll be on Twitter, I'm like, the Black Album wasn't my thing, or I really, but now, like, during this whole process, it kind of just, it kicked me in my back, like, nah, we dope. This album was dope. And you need to realize how dope this album was.
Yeah. I guess if he actually did retire, this would have been going out on a high. I think in his personal ranking, I think Jay puts this one at number 3.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's definitely way up.
What do you got, like Reasonable Doubt before it? And
yeah, I think Reasonable Doubt is number
Blueprint?
1, Blueprint,
Yeah.
and then Black Album is number 3. So definitely a great. Check out Lowe's Essentials. That's it for us today. I'm Nadeska. That's Lowkey. That's Eddie. Thank you. You guys can subscribe. We'll see you here next week. Leave a comment. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching The Rap Life Review. What's up? Nadeska here, and if you enjoyed this episode of the Rap Life Review, you can catch me here every week with Lowkey and Ebro. Subscribe, hit the like button, make sure you never miss an episode, and of course, drop us a comment below, and we'll see you next time on the Rap Life Review.